right, y'all, so the first reviews for The Crow are out, and listen, sounding not too good, but y'all, let's check out these first reviews for The Crow and see just how good it's sounding, or how not good it's sounding. Let's take a look. All right, so first up from my good friend Gotham Geek Girl Nadia Martinez, says 1 out of 2. While trying to separate itself from the 90s cult classic, The Crow movie essentially loses its gritty charm and core elements of what made the original film so distinctly unique. However, the bloodshed is superb. Skarsgard and FKA Twigs' chemistry is undeniably magnetic. Okay, that's a decent start, y'all. That's not too bad. 2 out of 2 says, and the reimagining does creatively pull some new elements from the graphic novel. Skarsgard always delivers, but The Crow movie is essentially Boy Kills World without the color and just another revenge film lacking any of the gritty elements that made The Crow so iconic. Wow, okay, so sounds like from Nadia's perspective, it's decent. It's got some new elements, some new good stuff, but not quite as good as the original. That's how I'm expecting to feel. Let's continue on. My friend John Daniel here from Dusk to Juan says Rupert Sanders' The Crow is a decent adaptation that gets James O'Bare's main themes right, but I also love its tie back to the source material's roots and the expressive artistry. The crows aren't visually there, and the narrative hesitates along with its beats, but I liked it. Okay, that's good to see a positive review. Good to see somebody liked it, and you know, I have my hesitations, but I'm glad someone liked it, and hey, maybe I'll end up liking it. Steve Varley says if you can get past the Jared Leto Joker look in The Crow, it is a pretty good time. It adds more meat to the story of the first film and builds characters better. There's also an action sequence later in the film that had my theater clapping. Oh wow, 7.7 out of 10. So far, these reactions are sounding pretty good. These reviews are sounding pretty good for The Crow. Let's continue. This one says, why watch this when you can watch this? Is maybe my biggest takeaway, but don't worry, The Crow is incredibly generic and boring too. Wow. Review at We Live Entertainment. Dang, man, it sounds like that person did not like it. We've got Bill Bria who says, yes, it's messy, but The Crow kept me intrigued. Skarsgard and Twigs have a lovely chemistry. It's very horror forward and it's trying to be nuanced with its themes while delivering some all-time gnarly kills. Okay, listen, it sounds like the action in this is actually pretty good. I'm excited to actually check this out a little bit. Like, I'm like, wait, maybe this could be pretty good. Sounds like the action in it is pretty good, and Boy Kills World, I had a really good time with that movie. And yeah, the action in that film was really superb. So I'm hearing Boy Kills World from Nadia. That piqued my interest. Oh, we got that one already. Rama Screen says, I wanted to like Bill Skarsgård's The Crow, but this remake was a hot mess. It wasn't even a good movie because it was so clunky, not to mention it took forever to create the mood. I enjoyed the film's dark stylized aesthetics and its ultra violence, but that's about it. Okay, so from that, it sounds like a lot of the reactions are saying like the visuals, the stunts, the action, really, really good additions. But the actual story, not as good as the original. The heart, not as good as the original. Ay. Let's continue. We've got Zach Sietzma, who says The Crow is darker and more violent take from the original film as they take a more John Wick-like approach to action and revenge. Bill and TKA both have great chemistry together, making you feel the connection between these two more than in the original film. And I'm hearing that too, more connection, more of the romance, it sounds like. Explore more of that. We've got Shoria who says, kinda hated The Crow. Not even a blip on the 1994 version's radar. Wow, but even on its own terms, aside from decent-ish Bill Skarsgård, it fails at pretty much everything. Oh, wow. My man Shoria, is good to see you, man. He says it fails at pretty much everything. Oh my goodness. Let's continue on. Now, I want y'all to notice so far, there's like no glowingly positive reviews. Like there's some middle ground, there's some decent, and then there's a lot of like not good. Says here from Sunkissed, had an alright time watching the latest iteration of The Crow. Romance-wise, it was a case of they knew each other for far too little time for him to go that hard when he shifts. But for the short amount of time they had, the actors did as solid as they could. Okay. We've got Simon Thompson who says, I'm a fan of Rupert Sanders' The Crow. This reimagining of the source material is chaotically intoxicating. Wow. It's raw, wit, rich, and violent. Skarsgard and Twigs are great as Eric and Shelley and give this brutal, beautiful beast real heart. Tragic, dark, and beguiling. Oh my goodness, man. Like, okay, I was talking about no positive reviews, and we have one right there. So one that says it's chaotically intoxicating. Wow, that's got my curiosity piqued, that's for sure. Chaotically intoxicating, y'all. I'm excited to check that out. But I did watch The Crow a few days ago, and while I did love Bill and FKA Twigs together, I feel like it could have done much more with its narrative. Does a lot of telling rather than showing, but at least is somewhat thematically consistent and the action holds strong. This is coming from Chris Giardo, and man, again, we're back to the action sounding good, the visuals sounding dope, like the aesthetic. It sounds like the visuals and the aesthetic are really cool. John Wick, Boy Kills World, like it's got a very action heavy look to it and feel to it, so the action is probably going to be pretty dope. We've got The Real Roundup who says, a downgrade from the 1994 original, The Crow is a bland remake that's only partially redeemed by its extremely bloody and insanely gory action sequences. Still, audiences are better off without this utterly unnecessary cinematic resurrection. Wow, so there are some of these reviews that are cooking this Crow remake, but that's our last one, and y'all, this sounds like a lot of leaning to not like. I'm seeing a lot of people not really enjoy it. I wonder how the audience is gonna like it. I know there are a lot of fans of that original 1994 The Crow movie, and I know that there's fans of the comic book. I want to see how those fans weigh in as well, but wow, it sounded like it's not quite the 1999 or 1994 version. And y'all, I just watched that recently and I had a blast with that one. Got a video coming soon for that first time watch and reaction. But y'all, hey, if you're new to the channel, let me know your thoughts down in the comments. Are you looking forward to The Crow? How do we feel about these reviews? Does it get you more excited, less excited? Let me know your thoughts, and hey, if you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button and we'll see you next time on Geekly Goods.